The Cybrarian presents Norse Myths. Loki. Suitable for all ages. Images by Steiner Engeland. We shall tell the tale of Loki, god of fire and mischief. And this is how the other Norse gods punished him for his crimes. But what were those crimes? They say it was he who cut off the golden hair of Sif, goddess of harvests, and wife of Thor. And it was he who stole Freya's necklace, and hidden with her golden apples of immortality was kidnapped by Loki. He bedeviled the dwarf smiths and did all he could to spoil Thor's deeds. His face is dark as a burned-out tree. His eyes dance like flames. This god of fire can warm you or burn your mead hall down. Be he from the line of Asgard's gods, or the frost giants of Jotunheim. His fiery temper and cold cruelty angered many. Aegir, god of the sea, held a feast for all the gods. Servants brought round food and great horns of mead to all but Loki. They ignored him. They brought more and more, again and again, to all but Loki. He became angered and struck a servant to the floor. The other gods rose up and cast Loki from the hall, out into the rain, for the weather is harsh in the lands of Aegir. The god of fire was wet and cold outside the great hall, and heard the servants spake that their masters had no good words to say of Loki. Incensed, he strode back into the hall, proclaimed he was cold and wet and had a thirst, and had come to take his place at this feast of gods, and asked who would pass the drinking horn to him. The long silence was broken by Odin, the All-Father, who boomed, "You will never more have place among the gods. Now go." Loki spake back, cursing them all. He chided Odin for his lack of mercy. He berated Idun as a fool, and so on, until he scolded Thor for his pride. And this may have been a rebuke too far, as a storm began to swell within the hall. So Loki left with a final curse that they would all be consumed in the endless fire, both now and at the end of days. Loki knew these words were words too far, and he wandered the earth, looking for somewhere safe to hide from the vengeance of the gods. He settled in a deep valley with the river hidden in the mountains, in a little hole, in a house with windows in each wall. Ages passed, and no one came looking. Over time, Loki wove nets and became a fisherman. For he had always been good at fishing, and accepted his new life, which led to him becoming complacent. Almost. Odin had not forgotten his insults, and looked upon the world, and sent Thor and Kvasir the Wise to capture Loki. They came upon the fisherman's house as Loki wove a net. But he heard them. He cast his net upon the hearth and leapt into the river in the form of a fish. Thor and Gvisor looked about the house and found naught but the charred net. Even though Gvisor suspected Loki's trickery, and he and Thor mended the net and took it to the river to fish. The chase which followed was long and wearying. Loki, in fish's form, swam low between two rocks, so the net passed over him. So Thor and Gvisor weighted the net. Loki now leapt over the net. So Thor and Gvisor chased him down a waterfall, and as Loki jumped, Thor caught him by his tail. The god of mischief could do nothing, and was changed back into his true shape to receive his punishment. He was taken to a cave and bound to 3 great stones. And above him was a great serpent who would drip poison onto Loki's face. He tried to strain his bones, pulled so hard the earth trembled and quaked. They cut into his flesh, but did not break. And the poison, dripping on his face, stung and burned, and this was to be his punishment until the end of days. Loki's wife, Sigyn, heard his screams echoing on the wind, and she came to help him. She could not free him, but she took up a bowl and caught the poison in it. But when the bowl was full, she had to empty it, and as she did, the drops of poison would fall on Loki again. And this is to be until the end of days. But when the end of days come, and Ragnarok begins, Loki's fire will consume the world and the gods, and the last laugh will be his. This is all we shall say for now, and until you find your way this way again, good journey.
Thank you for listening. For updates, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell.